come back.
So you can't justify. First of all, if you put the car in the garage, the car's in the garage. It doesn't matter.
But you're not driving. It's in the garage.
But it's still in.
It's in. But the minute you move, it's a verb. It's an action.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about
I am ready. I'm actually really ready for a lot of things because there's a lot of things happening in sports.
Sure is.
But you all have to get ready for the sports show this week. That's right. I think we're episode 303.
That's correct.
There's a lot of threes. It's amazing.
You're 1 for 1 today.
1 for 1.
Boom.
Boom. Got it. I got the episode and the number of games. A little bit of a teaser for you. Now, Sports Show. At Sports Show Podcast, that's the handle. You do it 2 ways. You got to follow us on the Instagram. I see the numbers. None of you took the advice last week.
Nobody.
At Sports Show Podcast. Follow the Instagram channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost there.
We're almost there. You know, I just want to say something. When we do make it, and we will, we'll remember the first 100 more than we'll remember the other thousands that
We're going to
follow.
remember all of you who you are, but no, we appreciate it. Please follow us on the channels. As we said, subscribe to the YouTube channel for the video content. Help the good Amy. Help her stay in business. Come on.
Stay in business. Keep her man.
Yeah.
All of the above. The girl's got to eat.
We got to give a shout out to our boy Dan, our new boy Dan.
He's our friend.
He's our friend now. He's a good guy. He's making a lot of right moves out there.
Well done, Dan.
Dan, hey.
Yeah. He's working. He knows the back channels. He knows what he's doing.
Podbean, Spotify, CJSW 90.9 on the FM. Thank you very much for tuning in on that and for tuning in on everything. Now, we got to get into it because there's a lot of things to get into.
There's so much. Listen, last week's episode was the 30-minute CJSW show. What a show it was. When Dimitri and I are up against the clock, I will say we both rise to the occasion, and we will get it done. Hell or high water, we'll do it. But if you give us a few more minutes, we're going to take it because you need it. This content is too good. It's too good,
Mitch.
But right after the show, boy, were the internets a-flying.
Bumping.
A lot of news. Today's podcast, let's be very honest, it's NHL heavy. There's a lot of things going on. We got controversy. We got conversation. We got playoffs starting today.
What?
Today.
What?
Yeah. So
Or like was it Little John? What?
That's right. It was
I wish we could rewind it. Do that again. Do that bit again.
Today.
What?
There it is. But,
yeah.
Oh, I love it. We're going to get right into it. It is going to be an NHL heavy show, but I promise you this. For those that aren't maybe the most heavy into NHL, like big data, just wait to the end. That's all I ask.
He's going to be a big fan.
To the end. Let's get started. You know me. I'm minding my own business. I was perusing the nets.
Oh. We need something there.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if it's a sound bite. I don't know if it's like a
something, yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, we called it. We talked about the gambling that's going on with these players and with the and just basically gambling on sports and, dare I say, on their own sport. Long story short, the NBA finally caught Jonte Porter. They ended up doing exactly what Dimitri and I said they should do. He's gone. A guy that was making over $2 million a year playing in the NBA is gone, abolished, see you later, gone from the history books of the NBA. They found him to be guilty of basically fooling around too much, gambling too much, and kind of taking liberties on himself. He made $21,000. He's gone now. He's Pete Rosed. I don't know what verbiage you want to use there. Dimitri, I love the fact that we called it and we said, hey, you guys really want to make the players understand how important this is? Get rid of them. You don't fine them. You don't give them suspensions. Gone. And they did.
Yeah, and I gotta say something right now. The way in which he did it, like, come on, man, like, are you for real? Get a translator. That's how you get out of it.
That's how you get out of it.
Get a translator.
They're like, but you're from Missouri.
Yeah, well, they got accents too.
They do.
You know, the Americas is a very, very diverse dialect and accent. But listen, this guy did it. It was so stupid, right? I mean, come on, you did everything that everyone was actually afraid of people were doing. You got your buddy to put it, I think it was $80K.
Something like that.
to bet on yourself.
Right.
And then you took yourself out of games.
That's right.
And shaving
I got
points.
a cramp. Would you look at this?
Mano, she got me again. I get bronchial in the winter.
On one end, I do understand how he thought he could get away with it. It kind of, because his over-unders and his prop bets weren't like anything like 20 rebounds or anything like that. It was 2. So he gets the 1. He's like, Coach, I don't know. What am I going to do?
Coach, what am I supposed to do about it?
What am I going to do, Coach?
But here's the thing. And I get the rationale. Look, I looked it up. The guy, if he plays a full season on his contract right now, it's something like he makes 5 G's a game.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
So when you're sitting there and you're watching another guy making 150 G's a game, you're looking, listen, maybe sometimes the athletes need a little side hustle, if you will.
Yeah, but you know what? So if your prop bet, if
Vegas, skip the dishes, don't bet.
Well, but if the over under on his prop bets, Dimitri, are 2.5 rebounds, and the guy that's making 150 a game is 7 rebounds, maybe box out a little better and start making that 150K. That's it. It's not that hard. You're already in the league. You're there.
I'm just trying to help the guy out. But listen, as much as we joke around, yeah, man, you like, come on. This story is, like I said, is everything that they... Like, you ruined it for everyone now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you really did. Because
there
could have been the argument there, do you not bet on your own sport? Do you maybe do this? It's all getting legalized. Is there maybe a way that the leagues, no, this is why.
That's right.
Here's a good example. And they did the right thing. You're done. You're out. You're done.
The second thing I saw on the nets this week was a guy named Jack Arshosky. He's a realtor out of Ontario. So they found a box, it was being auctioned, a box of O-Pee-Chee cards, 1979. That's where the Gretzky rookie is and all that stuff. This box went on auction. This guy, realtor out of Ontario, decided, I'm going to bid on it. $5 million it went for. He wins. But what the guy didn't do, and what he also hurt himself doing, and this is where I have no sympathy for anybody this dumb. You want to win this O-Pee-Chee back, and you want this, not pack, but the box of unopened cards. I get it. But what he did, Dimitri, is he bought it going, okay, yeah, I'll give you here. You want $1 million? Here, I'll send you the other 4 in a minute. And he starts making the calls. Hey, big card collector, do you want this box? It's unopened. There's probably a Gretzky in there. I don't know for sure, but it's probably in there. And I'll sell it to you. So he was trying to back end the deal. He ends up now negating on it. He goes, yeah, I don't want the box because he couldn't find any buyer. If I'm these O-Pee-Chee guy auctioneers, no. You bought it, you own it, buddy. Where's the other 4? Send it over here and do as you please after the fact.
Yeah, you break, you buy.
You break, you buy.
Unless
100%.
the guy gets to keep the box and keep the $1 million as a down payment. Because then you get $1 million for nothing. You're net neutral.
Exactly. Then that's different. But
not net neutral, you're ahead, actually.
But because he's a realtor, I think he's hurt himself even further down the road.
100%.
Because now he's on the Google. Yeah, I don't want this guy negotiating my house.
Yeah.
Or my commercial properties.
So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to give you a commission check. You're supposed to sell my house and then buy the other one. How do I not know now that you're not going to buy the other one? Am I going to be homeless?
I can't trust you. I can't trust you with this.
He sounds Greek.
He's not. It's very much not Greek, but you never know. Arskinopoulos, maybe cut it down.
He could have cut it down just in case.
It could be. Finally, the big news of the week, and you know what? Me and Dimitri talked earlier this week. It's the midnight move. It wasn't really midnight. There was a move, though. Right after we finished on the microphones last week, it was announced this exact week ago that the Arizona Coyotes are gone and they're moving to Utah. Now, I talked to my boy Dimitri. Dimitri, break it down for everybody because you love this hustle. You loved what happened and how it went down. But just so everyone knows, if you don't want to listen to anything else, it's this. Arizona, gone. Utah, new Arizona.
Listen to this.
Go ahead.
This is great. This is just fantastic. So, and you know what? You got to give credit to Mitch over here because when he puts the agenda together, it's not easy to create flow. You go from someone who tries to do a side door back deal hustle, gone wrong, to something that's gone right.
Correct.
I'm going to explain something very carefully. I will not tolerate on this podcast anyone who's going to make fun of Gary Bettman.
Okay.
I will not have it.
No.
I'm a Bettman fan.
Not on our watch.
I am on record to say I am a Gary Bettman fan.
I like him.
If I had it my way,
that's it.
I would have chosen him to be godfather to my second.
It's a little much, but it's fine.
Oh, that's all I'm saying. No, listen, this is what's beautiful. Okay, let's just start it. This is why I like everything about it.
Let's go.
No one can sit there and say that the NHL didn't try for Arizona.
That's true. Oh, no.
No one can say it. They put an arena in there. It wasn't the best spot. We all know it. We've been complaining for years. They changed the name from Phoenix to Arizona. Mm-hmm. They did Jersey. They changed arenas. They tried everything and everything they could under the sun. Now they're at the point, and here's the thing. Let's all remember one thing before anyone formulates an opinion. Every single one of you, especially a Canadian NHL fan, has been saying for years to get the team out.
Right.
So don't give me the whole whatever. You've been complaining to get the team out. So here's what they do. Go, hey, we got a buyer.
Right.
We got a buyer.
Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith. Not the one you're thinking. Not player Ryan Smith.
I thought it was that one. He told me it wasn't.
Is Utah Jazz
then
Ryan Smith.
Then I Googled him. Billionaire. Go ahead.
So here's what they do. They say, hold on a second. We got a buyer.
Yeah.
He's going to bring the team to Utah. We can have it over like this. The guy's got an arena. It's ready to go.
It's all ready.
Fantastic. Here's what we're going to do.
What?
We're going to sell it for $1.2 billion.
Pardon?
Meanwhile, original owner, he's going to make a little bit of cabbage.
Alex Morello.
He's got some cabbage now. So check out the deal. So the NHL goes, hey, you are now over there.
Right.
You give money to this person here.
I'll take it.
And now this person here, you're allowed to have right of first refusal up to 5 years that if a team comes back,
right,
you have the option if you want. And if you don't, that's fine. But we'll give you the option. Beautiful. Listen to what the NHL did. They heard your cries.
They heard it.
This is why Bettman is the biggest genius, in my opinion, in all of sports. He goes, where the arena is garbage, it can't sustain, it can't be there. They had to go to a smaller one.
Yeah.
The team's not functioning. Move team out. Hey, here's your $500 million. You got 5 more years to get buyers and investors, and you get the right of first refusal to relocate the team within Phoenix in a better position, and the NHL walks out with a brand new team that they don't have to do an expansion draft for.
That's right.
Yet. And then they get the team in. Guys, it's so brilliant that the guy in Utah wins. The NHL is going to win. The old owner and potentially same owner is going to win. Guys, this is one of the greatest deals that I've seen ever. Kudos to you.
The only people that kind of lost on this are, unfortunately, right now, the people that actually work for the Phoenix Coyotes,
okay,
like in Phoenix.
Of course.
No, and I'm not. It's just part of life. That does suck, but they've lost their jobs right now, right? And secondly, are the players.
Guys.
I mean, let's be fair here. These players are going, okay, we might play in Mullet Arena, 6,000 capacity, blah blah blah, but not bad. We're in Phoenix. We're good, right?
Yeah.
Tempe, wherever you guys are. Now you're in Utah, Salt Lake City. We're going to talk about it later. There's a lot of different things going on over there. I think the players are just like, I'm not feeling bad for the players. It's just, you're in Arizona, now you're in Salt Lake City. I mean, when we talk about 2 different cities, they're 2 different cities. And so that's the only place. But again, I'm not crying for you. I'm not crying for you. I'm just saying.
Spring break is going to look a little bit different.
That's exactly it.
That's all we're saying.
Exactly it. All right. We are off to the NHL. Tonight, we said it. It starts. The NHL did another smart thing. They said, we're going to start the NHL playoffs on a Saturday. Let's get down to it. Now, I got to say, the last few weeks, this entire year, last year we did the recap show, and I got to be honest, as we went through the list and I re-listened to the podcast, it was a very fun-laced, entertaining NHL season. Let's just say it was.
Yeah, it was.
And I think the playoffs are just going to be that beautiful cherry on top because the teams that did make it, and as we go through it, this could be one of the best playoff scenarios of all time. Again, as I look at the matchups, I'm going to say one last time. This is brought to you by Sinatra's. There's no power ranking because we're doing this now.
Yeah.
403-455-7222. All I'm going to say is this. The 1 to the 8, it's got to start happening. And you'll see why. Because there's almost like we're getting dessert early. They're giving us too much dessert.
That's right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Point.
That's what I'm just saying. Let's start in the Atlantic. Let's start with a little Florida and Boston scenario. Last week on this very podcast, we kept saying, Boston, what's your problem? Why do you keep winning? Why are you doing this to yourself? I think they listened to the podcast. They said, you know what? Those two got a point. Why do we keep winning? I don't want to play Tampa Bay. Hey, Florida, Go ahead. You won the game. Oh, what a shame. Guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 seed, the Florida Panthers from the Atlantic, are taking on wild card 2 in the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I don't know what to tell you. It's Florida. It's Tampa Bay. A matchup that everyone loves. I just didn't want to see it this early, but I'm going to. Dimitri, who you got in this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, NHL Saturday, bravo,
yes.
Kudos, you did it right. All roads lead to the Florida Panthers, except mine.
What?
Listen, when you got a guy like the Kucherov who's just been pumping and pumping and pumping, under the radar, quiet, I say to myself, what's so different about the rest of the team?
Right.
I got the Tampa Bay Lightning in this one. I think this is one of those cases where, to your point, when you say the whole 1-8 and all that, and it's a good matchup, it's going to be tight. They know each other very well. That's the other thing, right?
Yes.
And we'll probably get into another series where teams know each other very well. I got Tampa Bay. Are we doing games? Should we try with
Why
the
not?
game?
Let's go for an extra point.
Let's do an extra point. Okay. Sure. Let's keep track. Let's keep a score. I'm going to go Tampa Bay in 6.
I, too, ladies and gentlemen, have Tampa Bay. I know a couple months ago I said Florida's probably the team to watch out for, but the problem is that playing a team like Tampa Bay that's still intact. The Cooch, MVP, and we'll get to that. Stamkos, Brendan Point, Hedman, Vasilevsky. This is their actual season. They're like, regular season, whatever. This is where they rise to the cream, rises to the top. This is the better team. Yeah. The better team in the playoffs. See, again, I go back to it. 2 different seasons. I'm with my boy, and I'm going, this one's going to go 7 for me. I mean, they're division rivals. I'm going to say 7. What did you say? Sorry, how many games?
In 6.
In 6.
I actually wanted to go 7. I just have a hard time picking 7, but, I just do it for the sake of doing it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gotta have some separation.
So because Boston was smart and said, hey, we're looking at the matchup. We don't want a Tampa Bay. We'll take our chances with Toronto. 3 times over the last 10 years, these guys have met in the first round of the playoffs, and guess what? Toronto fan knows. Boston's won all 3 times. It's Boston. It's Toronto. First round. They play tonight.
All I've said all year is that I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say anything, and I'm just going to leave it at this. Toronto in 6, and that's it.
Toronto.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I always get ahead of myself.
This is what I'm going to say. Listen, Toronto fan, I love you guys. I think this could have been your season if the playoff format was a little different. But I got to go. I've done this podcast long enough where when a team is good, they're good. And I just got to go with the hotter hand. I got to go with the team that's got your number. I got to go with the team that's going to have home ice advantage. It's the Boston Bruins. And I'm sorry when I say this. It's probably 5 games. Yeah. We head over to the Metropolitan, and it's the number 1 seed and the President Trophy winning New York Rangers, who 30 years ago in the same scenario with Mark Messier and co, taking on the team that at the end, I don't know how the hell they got in. I would love to go back and kind of look at, watch one of those graphs of how they were not in the playoffs. Everyone thought they were dead. And then somehow has risen to the top. It's the Washington Capitals at a minus 37 in point differential. A minus 37. They are the wild card 2, or wild card 1, they're wild card 2 in this case. Long and short of it, Dimitri, it's the Rangers taking on Washington. Who you got in this one?
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. You got your President's Trophy. Good for you. Mm-hmm. You finished first. Good for you. Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about it. Good for you. But you know what? This is where the Dimitri smells a little bit of an upset.
Come on.
And this is where the Dimitri takes the Washington Capitals in 7 games.
This guy, listen. He's been off the booze for a week. The opposite's happened to him. He's gone crazy because he's not on the booze. You know how much I love an upset. I love my upset, but this is no.
I know. Mitch, I know
what you're doing. You're trying to Columbus this game. I know exactly what you're doing.
Listen, you're right. Everything about what you're saying is right, but I can't help the fact that when I look at a team, for everything that you said, out of all the teams that were vying for a playoff spot,
right,
were written off. They had no business being there. And then once they get there, I'm telling you, there's something messed up about this.
I couldn't agree more. I do think this. I think it's going to be the Rangers in 5, and I will even call this. I'll say Washington wins game 1, just to give everyone a little hope. But we're talking about a team that the Rangers, we're not giving them enough love. I mean, they got a stacked team.
Yeah.
They're at MSG. They're in New York. They got all the they got the goaltending, and should Shesterkin go, I mean, it's over for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
And then finally, I'm just going to say this. The Rangers team, I saw this stat just out of the corner of my eye yesterday. They are the best team in the NHL when they play sub 500 teams. Not that the New York or the Washington was, but they're right there. I just feel like the matchup's not good for Washington in this one. It's not. It's not. If it was Pittsburgh, I swear to Jesus, if Pittsburgh got in, you might be hearing something different. But it's just Washington doesn't have a firepower. It just doesn't have it.
For whatever reason, I happened to listen to one of the podcasts at the beginning of the year because I think we were trying to look for stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember saying at the beginning of the year that I felt that Washington was better this year than they were last year, and they're just an underperforming, underachieving team. Mitch, you're right. Like I'm calling an upset.
I like it.
I don't even half believe what I'm saying, but for whatever reason, the way they got in, I'm like, when you're playing the big, and here's the thing,
right?
They know who they're playing against. They're not stupid.
You're right.
They're
absolutely
they're
right.
like, we're literally playing against the best team in the NHL.
Agreed.
You have no choice but to elevate your game, but they're having a little more fun, and they got less to lose.
Agreed. All agreed. And those are usually Mitch's points for taking the upset.
The world is on crazy. I'm
this
off
one's
the
just
booze.
too much. You got to get back on the booze.
That's it.
The final game in the Metropolitan in the East is a matchup that it's either going to be the worst and most boring series, or it's going to be the best one.
Yeah.
And that's the Carolina Hurricanes, Dimitri's Hurricanes, against the New York Hairless Islanders.
Yes.
Lou Amorello's team. Patrick Waugh, Rod Brindamore. You got so many scenarios. When we're talking coaches rather than players, that's how we feel about this series. I'll go first on this one. I love me some Islanders in this one. You know why? This is Dimitri's word. Dad strength. They're the oldest team in the NHL.
Yeah.
They came on late. Everyone's like, oh, they're dead in the water. And then Lou goes, hey, get your asses in gear. Patrick's here. Shave your faces. Let's go. I'll take the veterans over kind of the much better Carolina team technically on paper. Give me the Islanders in 7.
So this is where see, this is funny because give me the Hurricanes in 5. And here's what's funny. You and I are basically calling a wild card upset.
Right.
And we're doing it the exact same way. I have Washington in 7, whereas you have the Rangers in 5.
That's right.
Now you got the Islanders in 7, whereas I have the Hurricanes in 5. One of us is actually going to be right because there is going to be one of those upsets.
I think we know who that is.
I think we know too. I think so. It's probably Mitch, but whatever. No. The Islanders when they get in the playoffs, man, that I don't know what it is. The last almost call it 6-7 years, man. This is a tough team to play against, right?
Yeah.
They're Columbus-esque, like when you called the upset there for Tampa Bay. The thing with me is Carolina, I think, is just way too fast.
Well, they're definitely faster than this Islander team.
That's what I think where the difference with the old man strength. But then again, who knows?
Hey, listen, I just feel like right now the Islanders, because Islanders was part of that Washington, Pittsburgh, Detroit, kind of Philadelphia falling apart at the last minute. They've been in playoff mode, and that's really the only reason I'm kind of going, they'll just carry that trend.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of veterans. They know how to act in the room. Not to say Carolina's a bunch of rookies. I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure on Carolina.
Listen, it's freaky. That's how you and I have literally looked at those wild card teams. Both came in the same way.
That's right.
From the same division.
That's right.
Trying to do the same thing.
That's right.
With old man strength and everything. One of them's going to break. I just don't see Islander. One of them has to go through. I just don't see there not being one of those upsets from one of those teams.
In all honesty, we could actually forget this series is happening. That's where that lies. It could be the best or literally the worst.
Yeah, that's true.
It's no different.
That's true.
We head over to the West, and I mean, it starts in the Central.
Ugh.
And when I see this is why I say they got to reformat everything, because you got the defending Stanley Cup champions who made it in as wild card 2, taking on the number 1 seed in the West, the Dallas Stars. This literally is the dessert of desserts. I am excited about this series, but I'm sad because it's happening too early. It's happening too early. And with all due respect, Dallas looks great. Dimitri called it from weeks ago. I don't know who he's going to go on, but ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take the Las Vegas Golden Knights in 7, only because I think that they just have that momentum going in. Again, I'm a big guy. You guys know how I am on the heater. I love that their players are all getting healthy at the right time. They basically have an all-star team ready to go now. I don't care about the cheating allegations, and they're allegations. I'm just saying, give me the defending champions who also have the home ice advantage. They don't have advantage. When you get to Vegas, you all know what I'm talking about. Give me Vegas in 7.
You're right. It sucks. This is way too early. And you know, one of them's going to go. We know that. I've been calling Dallas for a while. I am going to stick with them. Although I'm not, again, when you play a team like Vegas, like how confident am I?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm really just saying I'm just going to stick with them. So I turn. But it's hard for me to stick with them. But what it's not hard for me to do is make a bold prediction.
What?
Because if we're going to do it, let's make it fun.
Just do it.
I think Dallas is going to get them in 5.
Whoa.
I think it's going to be one of those series that whoever wins, but I'm just saying Dallas, where it's so close. And like every year you're going to have a couple of these where if Vegas or Dallas wins in, let's say, 4 or 5 games, like it's quick, but it's going to be one of those 3-2, 1-0, 2-1. You have one team that just edged out the other. Anyways, I got Dallas. I'm taking them in 5. I'm going for the extra bonus points here. Let's go.
You know what? I'll do an extra bonus point on top of the bonus point.
Sure.
The winner of this series, whoever it is,
goes?
No, kinda.
Oh.
Whoever they play, because in the next round, they got to take on a Winnipeg or a Colorado, which is next. The winner of that series goes to the Stanley Cup and wins it. You see what I'm saying?
Good point.
That's what you get out of those 2 series. It's cakewalk after that. You get out of that series, those 2, you're ready to go. You got no excuses. You got nothing.
Nothing.
Speaking of it, Winnipeg. See, this is what I'm talking about. Winnipeg, Colorado is who has to play in the other series, playoff series.
This one's hard.
This one is hard. I'll go first just because I'm older and because I want to set the path for you.
Sure.
Everyone's going to tell you that McKinnon might win the MVP. Everyone's going to tell you Makar is the best player in the NHL. Everyone saw that Grigorov was the best, most wins in the playoff or most wins in the regular season for goaltenders. But ladies and gentlemen, the Winnipeg Jets have something that no one else has. It's Cordon Street. Everyone wants to leave Winnipeg as soon as possible. Let's just call it what it is. When they're on the ice, the whiteout may be one of the best atmospheres for all of hockey. This team is big, they're strong, and they have the best goaltender. They got a great coach. This team's going to start flying. They're on an 8-game heater going into the playoffs. Give me Winnipeg in 5 games against this Colorado team that everybody thinks is number 1. No, they're not even good enough to go to 7. 5 games, give me Winnipeg. Boom.
You think he's crazy? Well, then color me crazy because that's my exact pick.
Thank you.
Everyone's not writing off the Jets. But when you get to the playoffs, you look at names and you think people should be entitled to do things that they're entitled because of the team and everything that they are. Guys, Winnipeg, Islanders, these types of guys, these types of teams, this is a good matchup for the Winnipeg Jets. I like them. And hold on, I want to one thing.
Go ahead.
The difference maker here, you guys, is strictly goaltending.
100%.
It's they're going to have a hella buck of a time trying to get them past that goalie.
Little sprinkle, just a little something to help us out.
Yeah.
Winnipeg in the season series cleaned the house 3-0.
Didn't want to say it.
I just say
Hey.
it. Just say.
Just
Those
say.
things play a role. It's in your head. It's in your head. If Colorado had home ice, would you maybe twist your game a little bit?
Nope.
No, neither would I.
No.
I would maybe say 7.
No.
I might say that home ice might help.
Guys, we got to remember Winnipeg's kind of been there the last couple of years.
Sure.
Right? Like we got
Absolutely.
to remember what they've been kind of trending and doing.
Right.
You know.
Well,
outside.
Colorado did win the cup. I mean.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like they're not just a team that limped in.
Right.
And look at where they were. But at one time they were leading the division.
Right. The only thing I'll say with Colorado, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, McKinnon and Makar are really your two best players. Like, they're so good that the drop-off is huge. Yeah. Where Winnipeg is like,
that's
boom,
boom.
The Kyle Connors, the Sheffleys, the blah, blah, blah. We head over to the Pacific. It's the number 1 seed, the Vancouver Canucks, who basically, with respect, as much as I hate this team, from the start of the season to the end, number one team. But kind of started tailing off, especially after that trade deadline. Taking on maybe the hottest team in all of the NHL, the Nashville Predators. That game starts on Sunday. I got to be honest. This is the one where I've been saying, is it Winnipeg just saying, you know what, let's pull back the throttle a little bit and then now go into full 6 mode? Or are they in trouble because they just haven't been themselves? Dimitri, I'll let you start with this one.
You know what? I thought that the way the Nashville was coming in, and it's like, this is a team that you don't want to play. However, Nashville is the type of team, if you're the Dallas, if you're the Colorado, if you're the Vegas, you don't want to play. Not so much, I'm convinced, if you're a Vancouver,
right,
who in theory is really in the same type of wheelhouse. They just happen to be not overachieving, but happen to be in a first place position this year, whereas they weren't. So great matchup for Vancouver. I have Vancouver in 5, and I think I think this is a good matchup actually for Vancouver.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? This is where I'm sticking to my gut feeling. There's something wrong in Vancouver. Something went awry. I don't know what not that they're bad. EA Sports did a simulation. Believe it or not, they got Vancouver winning the Stanley Cup this year against Boston. Obviously, those picks don't seem very good for us. But the point of the matter is, give me Nashville in 7. There's your upset. 5-star pick of the year. They're on the heater, baby. They're on the heater. And when you get down to what's that place called? Dolly's? No. What's it called?
Never been. Don't know.
You know what I'm talking down in Nashville.
No,
don't know
what
place.
you're talking about.
Come on.
No.
That place?
No.
Those Vancouver players are like, are we late for something? Yeah, the game started in Vancouver already.
Tootsies. No, I don't know.
Last game, here we go. It's the Edmonton Oilers taking on the LA Kings. I feel like we're on repeat. I feel like this is another episode of Seinfeld. I think we saw this last year, and we saw it the year before. Yeah. Now, Edmonton's looking pretty good against LA. They seem to kind of like that matchup. I think they're thanking their lucky stars it wasn't Vegas. My humble opinion. Edmonton, let me tell you something. This is it. I said it last year. Now I'm saying it again. McDavid, you got your 100 apples. Congratulations. You got your 100 assists. So did Cooch. But this is the most important time of the year. Do you have what you got to have? This is the team that, they kind of know you guys. So I want, you guys all know, I would love to take LA. I want to so bad. But at the end of the day, you got to go with the team that's got more talent. They got something to prove. I'm taking Edmonton in 7. I do think it's going to be a grimy series. And I'm telling you this, Edmonton fan, if you guys don't win this series, we all know you're going to go crazy.
It's over.
You got to do what I've said you got to do. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Give me the Oilers in 7.
Okay, so normally I think you'd be correct. It's a team, like, they know each other, they play each other, they're comfortable, it's got that familiarity to it. I think Edmonton is somewhat the same team.
Right.
Just performing a little bit better. But LA is not the same team that Edmonton had to grind through.
That's true.
In my opinion.
That's true.
I got the Oilers in 5.
Okay.
I think, do they win 2 games at home? I just don't see it being the same team, Mitch. I got the Oilers in 5.
No, that's a good pick.
But here's the thing. I got the Oilers that they should win in 5.
Sure.
Like, this is kind of tailor-made for you. So,
hey, there it is. There's the first round of the playoffs. Starts tonight. We're super excited. This is your pregame to the pregame. This is exciting stuff. I'm pumped. I love this time. Tonight, I'm going to go home where my buddy's not going to have a drink. I'm going to have a drink.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch I'm going to watch that Toronto-Boston, and I'm just going to laugh to myself going, damn it.
So
I'm good.
Listen to this. Speaking of drinks, so, in my world, so the reason that I'm not off the booze forever. Everyone relax.
No, hey.
Take it easy.
I'm
just taking a hiatus.
Yeah,
for Greek Orthodox Easter, Lent is a little bit further. It's May 5th for us this year.
Right.
So I give part of everything else. I give up the alcohol.
Hey, good.
Now here's the thing that I've always struggled with, because I love my beer from time to time.
Yeah.
Those non-alcoholic beers, they're absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. Oh, it's
disgusting. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Right.
Except,
okay,
I found one.
What'd you get?
The Coronas.
Oh, yeah.
Those Corona, whatever they call them, sun whatever,
Right.
0.0, they're no alcohol.
Mexican pea.
You put a bit, but you put a bit of lime in there, dude. It tastes great.
Really?
I finally found something.
Okay.
I don't feel cheated.
May I say something?
Go ahead.
I think non-alcoholic drinks are the dumbest thing in the world. Now, don't get me wrong.
Right.
I've tried them. I get it. I don't like the taste of alcohol that much where I'm like, oh, I'm yearning for a beer. Like, meaning I drink beer or booze to get a little feeling. I don't go out of my way going, you know what? I need to drink a non-alcoholic beer just for the taste of beer.
Okay, so totally correct.
Right.
I agree with you. They're kind of pointless and a waste of time.
Kind of.
But here's the only rebuttal that I'll have for you. The only rebuttal I have is that the alternative then is either you get a soda,
right,
flavored or not flavored. A, I don't want the sugar.
Right.
B, I find actually drinking soda useless.
That agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Like if you're just drinking like soda,
right,
like no flavor soda. Why?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Is it really thirst quenching?
So
no.
Like soda is the non-alcoholic version of their respected pop.
Okay.
Follow me,
You got a point, yeah.
Okay, so for me it's more, look, am I doing that in the winter? If I was doing Lent in the wintertime, am I buying it? No.
No.
But is it nice kind of holding the bottle and vibing and saying you got a little something over there and you got that that extra kick or whatever? Yes. That's it. You're right. Because you're right. I ain't going and saying, hey, can you get me a non-alcoholic vodka soda?
I'm just saying. I just feel like I watch a lot of Vanderpump Rules now with the wife, right? You know, on the Tuesday nights.
Good show.
Great, buddy. Love the drama. But the one thing I'll say, all of them, they're in their 30s, like early 30s. All of them are doing non-alcoholic stuff because they booze so badly. But obviously, they still need that booze feeling taste. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be known as that guy going, I'm off the booze, but I still need that taste of the booze.
Listen, we'll move on, but I got to tell you on the record.
Yeah.
And call me crazy, but if I'm going to go down, it's always because I was honest with myself.
Sure.
I love drinking.
Oh.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something.
Am I talking to myself?
A lot of people turn around and be like, oh, man, I wish I could cut it down. And this, from time to time, I guess. I love drinking. I love being about 4 or 5 in.
Oh, yeah.
You got that nice little...
You're not right now?
You can still walk the line.
Yeah.
But you're still offside.
You know who knows me better than anybody is Ride Day Friday group. They know. They know how the hood is. Now, granted, your 4 or 5 is 8 to 9 for me, but the point is, don't I know it?
That's what I'm saying.
Don't I know it?
I love that. Like, if I could just be in that zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like Orange Theory and stuff?
Yeah.
Where you got your zone cardio.
Yes.
For me, that's how I equate alcohol.
In the splash zone, they call it.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go. If we got to create something, what do we call it? In the shot zone, in the sip zone?
Something like that.
Something.
Sip zone?
Sip zone?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But in that zone, I think I'm the best human being for myself and everyone around.
Side note, I know we're running on this. Why is it that, like, because I've been working in the bar industry all my life on top of where else I work, and same with you. Don't you find it fascinating that people get so drunk and then act belligerent? And I'm like, when I get that drunk, and it's been a long time, but I'm usually the nicest guy. And then because they've done it a few times, don't you ever say to yourself, then if you know you're going to be a douche when you drink, then stop drinking.
100%. Like, for me, like, I get it. Like, people who get belligerent drunk, what the heck is in your cortex or your brain that got triggered that you have to get violent? And then, like, aren't you drinking to have a good time? The thing for me, I get it. When I get super drunk, I just want to be funny, and I talk even more so than I do. I get it. I'm half annoying and mostly annoying to people that are sober. Don't care.
So you're not drinking right now? See what I did there?
I love it.
See what I did
This is what I said. This is why we get it. You got to be able to take it and give it. But I agree. The belligerent drunk person, don't drink.
Hey.
Don't.
Yeah, I agree. Last thing, speaking of the don't you dare not give the MVP award to the Cooch. I am going on record right now on the sports show, episode 303. If the Cooch does not win this year's MVP, 42 goals, 100 assists, where everyone's going, oh, if McDavid gets 100 assists, he's the MVP. I don't care whatever he says. Or I'm giving it to McKinnon because he got 51 goals. No. 100 assists is 100 assists for anybody. 42 goals is great. Led 6 more points than McKinnon. There's Russian bias. There's Russian collusion if you guys don't give it to the Cooch. The Cooch for MVP.
The thing that I love is he took it into overdrive and took it.
Yes.
He took it.
Yes, he did. One little side note I saw on the peripherals. He's got, against top-rated teams, he averages 2 points a game. That's all I'm going to say.
Insanity.
That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
We're off to the NBA. Real quick, why?
Okay.
Because this week, Zuisimas, something happened. A dynasty has died. The Golden State Warriors are gone. It's over. Listen, 4 championships over 8 years, not bad. I'm sorry to say, but man, did you crash. It was kind of New England-ish, the way you guys crashed. Yeah. It wasn't a soft landing. It was bad. And I do blame Draymond Green for all of it. I do. Steph is still good. Clay's fallen off. But Draymond, man, you, for a guy that doesn't do all the scoring, damn, do you bring a lot of drama to that team.
Yeah, they should have cut him loose a while ago.
Time to go,
my
buddy.
Opinion.
One last thing. So LeBron and the boys got in on their playing game. They're going to take on Denver. Now, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to go on the record. If somehow LeBron ends up beating the defending champions in the Denver Nuggets and somehow gets to the NBA Finals and somehow wins the NBA Finals, I might think you're the second best player in the NBA of all time. I'm just throwing that out there. Just leaving it there. Just saying.
That's good.
We're off to Rapid Banter. Coachella was this last weekend. No doubt reunited. Gwen and the crew. Which band or team would you love to see reunite?
I think that was it.
That was it. It was nice.
It's New Kids on the Block.
100%. Great one. More annoying. Theo Fleury, Sean Avery, or Brad Marchand?
I think Theo Fleury.
You know what? Maybe. I
he's getting political now.
Yeah. Oh,
Why?
I saw that.
Why?
I saw that.
Why?
He's never going to get on the his jersey lifted if he keeps doing that. You know what I mean?
You got to stop.
You got to until they give you the jersey, and then go from there. 30 years ago, the New York Rangers were the number 1 seed. The Knicks were number 2. It ended up where the Rangers end up winning the cup. Will history repeat itself?
Possibly, but not by my pick.
Uh-oh. Blake Griffin called it retirement this year. Was he as good as everyone thinks he was?
No.
I agree. Robert Kraft apparently was called by Atlanta about hiring Bill Belichick and told him he's not to be trusted. Flag on the play, or upon further review, the flag has been picked up.
This is amazing. But he can't be trusted.
He can't. Which Paul brother would you rather fight in the boxing ring, Logan or Jake?
You want to know what? I want to go down fighting the best. And for me, it's Jake.
Oh, boy. I agree. I think Jake's way better boxer than Logan. I don't even think it's really a controversy.
Way better. Yeah.
Caitlin Clark was selected first overall last week in the WNBA. She's making $338,000, but she also got a $20 million Nike signature shoe deal. Smart move or dumb move not taking the $5 million from Ice Cube?
Smart going to the WNBA because of the Nike deal. This is what we were trying to get to.
Last one. Austin Matthews didn't get his 70 goals. He's stuck on 69. Who cares? Or it's okay. He still sucks. Just joking.
What's wrong with the 69?
Exactly. Gronk lived on it.
Who's losing? Who's losing?
It's exactly it. Who lost? Nobody lost. Everyone's a winner in this. We're off to Maga Malaka. Like I told you.
Hold on. Yeah. You know what?
What's up? What?
Time out. So yesterday, you didn't want to say anything to me.
You're
like, I want to tell you, but I don't.
Right.
I think I picked up on it.
You think?
I think
you did, but I don't think you did yet.
I don't think, but can I say, does it have something to do with NHL?
Yes.
Does it have something to do with relocation?
Of course.
I knew it. Go ahead.
But I don't think you know what I know. Here we go. It's Maga Malaka. Utah's got a new team. They need a name because the Coyotes get to keep their name and the trademark. So it's not going to be the Utah Coyotes. Utah needs a new name. And so I went perusing, and let me tell you this. The internets win again. You people in the comment section are vicious, and I love it. And here are the top names given for the new Utah NHL team, Maga or Malaka on some of these names?
Amy, this is one you got to clip. I can already tell. Go ahead, Mitch.
Let's start with the Utah Latter-day Skates, Maga or Malaka.
You know what?
Yeah.
I gotta go Maga. I get it. I get it. Now, and I like it.
A lot of people don't know this, but Ryan Smith, the owner of the new Utah team, is also the owner of basically the entire sporting community. He also owns the Utah Jazz. So somebody's wrote in here the Utah Jazz too. Maga or Malaka?
No, Malaka. You don't name a team like a movie sequel. Come on now.
It would be kind of funny. And again, because the Jazz makes no sense anyways, it just would be even more funny to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Here comes Utah Jazz 2 down the line. Somebody came up with the Utah Yetis. Maga or Malaka?
The Utah Yetis. No, you can't name something that's not confirmed to be alive.
How about the Utah?
Hold on, and that's Malaka. Unless it's from mythology.
That's right.
That's different.
Now, Arizona and Phoenix are synonymous, where we didn't know what team name they were. 1 week they're the Phoenix Coyotes, 1 week they're the Arizona Coyotes, right?
Right.
Well, because they're based out of Salt Lake, we got the Salt Lake sister wives, Maga or Malaka.
Ooh, now Maga. Now we're talking.
And you know what?
And
it's real.
That's right. Because if you think about it, a team itself is polygamous. You got to work with others.
Are you reading my notes?
Listen,
it's the Utah Polygamists.
Maga. That has to be the name. That has to be the name, you guys. Come on. Sometimes you have a right wing and a left wing, and sometimes they switch. And heck, you got to peruse with the defense from time to time.
The Rock made this popular a couple of weeks ago. The Utah Kissing Cousins. You know what? I'm going with Maga on this one. I'll tell you why.
It's kind of hot.
Don't say no one's ever. Don't tell me you didn't look. Don't tell me you never thought about it. That's all I'm going to say.
Come on.
All right.
Hey, you know what? Move on. You're right. Move on.
Listen, another thing. It's in Utah. We all know who basically dominates the Utah community. It's the Stormin' Mormons of the NHL. That's another name. Maga or Malaka.
Oh, Maga. That's a good one.
I kind of like that one. The Stormin' Mormons.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to mess with them.
Right. Okay, here are my final three, and these are pretty good.
So these are actual comments.
Comments in the box.
It's amazing.
The Brigham Youngs. Brigham Youngs. Yeah.
Okay, so because Brigham Young, I believe, started the Mormon.
That's correct. Community.
Community, right? You know what? I'm going to go Malaka only because it's the name of the university.
Right.
So I think you leave it protected.
How about the Utah Jizz? So all you're doing is changing one from I'm not lying to you. I was like literally crying, and wait till you hear the next one. You thought that was bad. I like this because for Mr. Ryan, this is easy. It's one vowel.
You got the jazz and the jizz.
That's it. You just change the letter.
Okay.
It's a winner.
Listen, I'm not going to go into an explanation, but I just want you all to know Maga.
Don't tell me it doesn't roll off your tongue.
Not off mine.
Okay, here's another one. This is maybe my favorite one. And by the way, I had to do some, let me see how this goes. The Salt Lake Soakers. Now, Dimitri, do you understand what that is? The Soakers.
No.
Okay.
No.
This is what I was talking to you about yesterday. So Dimitri and I are lenting right now. We just said.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you're lenting in this time, think about this.
Like a cork soaker?
No, you'll see in a second. Years ago, when Jesus was around and doing his thing, if he said, hey, don't eat meat, don't have dairy and all that, that was probably a little difficult. Today's age, me and you're finding ways around stuff.
Right.
Non-dairy stuff, but it's dairy. I need a burger, but you will get a Beyond Burger. Well, what happened is in Utah, we said it earlier, it's primarily Mormons. Okay. Their number one thing is, caffeine's a big thing. You can't do whatever.
Right. Yep.
And premarital sex is a big thing. You can't do it. You shouldn't be doing it. Blah, blah.
Right.
So the kids here figured out something. They're soaking. So me going, wait a minute, what the heck is this?
Excuse me?
Yeah, listen to this. Because they're brilliant. They're doing what we do for Lent. They're working themselves around figuring something out.
So this is their way of non-alcoholic beer.
That's exactly
but in the bedroom.
It. Soaking is when you're with your partner and you get together, but you don't move. If you move, then you're having sex. If you just put it in and leave it there, that's soaking. And that is why they are the Salt Lake City Soakers. Buddy, I saw this name 50 times, 100 times. I don't know how many. I'm like, what is this? Why does everyone keep writing this? I Urban Dictionary'd it, and that's what it is.
Hold on.
So
okay.
they're not having, but they're having.
Is that a thing?
Buddy, it's a total thing. Once I went down that wormhole, by the way,
okay, but
I almost didn't come back.
So you can't justify. First of all, if you put the car in the garage, the car's in the garage. It doesn't matter.
No, but you're not driving. It's in the garage.
But it's still in.
It's in. But the minute you move, it's a verb. It's an action. That's it. If you're leaving it there, that's it. I'm just telling you, man. I went down this road. I thought I've seen it all until yesterday night.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm a quarter part turned on.
Because
I'm half parts confused.
Good luck trying that tonight. Grab your significant other. Give it a try. It could be hotter than you think.
Yeah, but hold on a sec.
Yeah.
So let's just first of all, Maga?
Maga, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
That's it.
So what do you do? Do you talk?
It's a great question.
Like, do you have the same kind of conversation?
Good point.
That you would if you weren't soaking, if you were, I don't know. Like, what would be?
I don't know how to play this one out, bro. I don't know.
Plunging? I don't know if you're not soaking or you're plunging.
Can't move.
No, I'm saying if you're not soaking.
Right.
So I'm soaking.
Yeah.
What do you talk about? Is it open conversation? Are you planning?
How about this? Let's say,
hey, honey, did you sell the Chesterfield on Facebook Marketplace?
See, to your point, I agree with you.
Or do you still yeah.
Let me ask you this. You break up with the person you've soaked with. Then you meet somebody else.
Right.
Is it a viable question? Did you soak with her?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, right?
So that's why I say it's still sex to me. Now that's cheating.
This is why yesterday when we were talking about ways around different things, this is the ultimate.
I had no idea that this was a thing.
This is the ultimate. Yeah.
This is cheating.
No.
Look,
listen, hey,
you're breaking the rules.
I'm pretty sure that whoever came up with this idea probably did some recon work. And I mean, it's gotten that popular that everyone, I'm not joking, you guys. This is a popular thing.
Guys, Charles Manson had followers, okay? It didn't mean that it was right or justified.
Well, you know what? Even Charles Manson might have had at one point, and this might be this one person's point.
You know, here's the thing. Come to think of it, I actually sometimes soak in the middle of plunge.
I think what happens is the minute you move once, it's void.
Yeah, but how do you not move?
I don't know.
Because
I'm telling you what the kids are doing.
Mitch, hold on.
Right.
Because there's two movements.
Right. I agreed.
Because, hold on.
Yeah.
You got to go in.
Right.
And you got to come out.
Agreed.
So.
I'm just saying.
That's movement.
It's no different than you just said about the car in the garage. You put the car in, and then you got to take it out. The minute you start driving on the road, you're driving.
But
are
that's
you
driving.
really driving when the car's just backing out of the garage?
Hold on. It's like going from one light to the other.
Listen, man, I'm just telling you what's going on in Utah, all right?
Why are you defending it?
Because I think it's brilliant, I respect it, and I love it, and I want them to take on the Salt Lake Soakers.
I think they should take on the name. I think what we should do is just let's ask our wives and be like, hey, is it cheating if we were soaking?
With others.
With others.
Last one, very last one. Maga Malaka, Utah new name, the Quebec Nordiques.
The Utah Nordiques. Yes. Yes.
I say do it.
Yes.
I say do it.
Oh, my goodness.
There it is.
Listen, episode 303. Podbean, Spotify, Sports Show, at Sports Show Podcast. Let it sit. Let it soak for a second. Let this episode soak for a moment.
For a while.
We learned something today.
Damn right you did.
And you know what? I know that we've caused a divide amongst the people. So put it in the comments.
You don't think Jablonski soaks? He soaks.
Well, it looks like the soak's on us. Looks like the soak's on you. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker because apparently we're taking some different types of shower. We need a shower.
You can put it in the locker, but you can't
leave it there.
Yeah, you leave it there.
You leave it in the locker.
Just leave it in the locker.
We got to hit the shower. So do you. This is Filthy but hot.
I love it. Best epi ever. Done. Have a great week, everyone.
Soaking, eh?
Soaking.
I can't believe that this is the stuff we're going to have to talk to our kids about. W was Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.
Locked in.